Hello and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. Welcome to the daily quiz discussion for the 1st of June 2022. Beginning with the first question of the day, which reads, which of the following statements is or are correct with respect to the index of 8 core industries? Three question statements are given here. The first one reads, it is released by the Office of Economic Advisor, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. The second statement reads, among the 8 sectors, the highest weightage is given to the electricity sector, while the least weightage is given to the fertilizers industry. And the final statement reads, under the electricity vertical, renewable energy is not included. Please have a look at the options. Now, what is the context to this question? These articles from the PIB as well as today's The Hindu note the release of the index of 8 core industries for the month of April 2022. It notes an increase of 8.4% as compared to April 2021. This is the fastest growth rate in the last 6 months. The core industries have a major impact on the general economic activity and industrial activity of India. There are 8 core industries, and let us understand what these industries are. They include the following: refinery products, electricity, steel, coal, crude oil, natural gas, cement, and fertilizer. Please note the 8 core industries have been listed here in the decreasing order of their weightage. That is, among the 8 core industries, the refinery products industry accounts for the highest weightage, while fertilizer industry accounts for the lowest weightage. The 8 core industries account for around 40.27% weightage in the Index for Industrial Production, that is IIP. With this understanding, let's get back to the question. The first statement, which says the index of 8 core industries is released by the Office of Economic Advisor, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, is correct. The second statement is wrong. Why? Because as discussed previously, the highest weightage is given to not electric sector but to refinery product sector. Please note, earlier it was the electricity sector which had the highest weightage, but subsequent to some revision, currently it is refinery product sector which has the highest weightage. Moving on to the third statement, please note renewable energy is also included in the electricity vertical. Note, before 2014, this was not the case. It was in the year 2014 that renewable energy was also included in the electricity vertical. So even statement 3 is wrong. Since the question asks for the correct statement, the answer to this question would be option D, one only. Moving on to the second question of the day, which reads, which of the following statements is or are correct with respect to textile exports from India? There are two statements given here. The first one reads, there has been a substantial dip in the textile and apparel export volume from India in the current year, owing to reduction in demand in the global market and competition from emerging players like Bangladesh and Vietnam in the export market. The second statement reads, United Arab Emirates is the top export destination for textile and apparel exports from India. Please have a look at the options. Now, what is the context? This article from the PIB notes India's textile exports in the year 2021-22 having reached the highest level. It noted textile and apparel exports amounting to the value of around 44.4 billion US dollars. The article notes US or the United States of America being the top export destination for textile and apparel exports from India, accounting for around 27% share. The US is followed by the European Union, Bangladesh, and UAE. Please note, while the exports to USA, EU, and UAE include ready-made garments, the exports to Bangladesh consist mostly of the textile fabrics. Also, in terms of product categories, cotton textiles account for around 39% as compared to the man-made fibers, which account for 14% of the total exports. Also note, ready-made garment exports account for 36% of the export volume. With this understanding, let's get back to the question. The first statement is wrong. Why? Because there has been no dip in the export volume of textiles and apparel in India. there has been a record increase. Though competition from emerging players like Bangladesh and Vietnam is true, this has not reduced the absolute volume of textile exports from India. Also note, it is not United Arab Emirates, but it is the US, which is the top export destination for textile and apparel exports from India. Since the question asks for the correct statement, the answer to this question would be option D, neither 1 nor 2. Moving on to the third question of the day, which reads, which of the following pairs of indigenous livestock breeds and their main associated state is incorrectly matched? There are 5 pairs given here. Let's have a look at what they are. Amrit Mahal, Punjab; Ongole, Rajasthan; Malenadu Gidda, Tamil Nadu; Surti, Bihar; and Beetle, West Bengal. Please have a look at the options. Now, what is the context? This article from the PIB notes the Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying organizing an exhibition of indigenous livestock breeds. Please note there has been a growing interest in the indigenous livestock breeds. This is mainly attributed to the fact that the indigenous breeds are better acclimatized to the local conditions and show better resilience to changed environmental conditions. Coming back to the question. Please note all of these pairs are wrongly matched. Now let's have a brief understanding of each of these indigenous livestock breeds. Starting with Amrit Mahal. Amrit Mahal is associated with the state of Karnataka. This breed is believed to have originated from the Halikar breed. It was initially used for transporting equipage during war times. It is a well-known draught animal breed. Moving on to Ongole. Ongole is believed to have originated from the Prakasham district of Andhra Pradesh. This breed is known for its resistance to foot and mouth disease as well as the mad cow disease. Malenadu Gidda is a dwarf breed of cattle found mainly in the hilly and forested Malenadu region of Western Ghats in the state of Karnataka. Though initially it was considered a nondescript breed, currently it is described as a distinct breed. It is well known for its disease resistance. Moving on to Surti. Surti is a breed of water buffalo found mainly in the districts of Kaira and Vadodara in the state of Gujarat. It is best known for the high fat content of milk it produces. Beetle is a goat breed originating in the state of Punjab. It is grown both for milk and meat. Another well-known goat breed from the state of Punjab is the Jamunapuri breed. Since the question asks for the incorrect pairs, the answer to this question would be option D, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Moving on to the fourth question of the day, which reads, which of the following statements is or are incorrect with respect to GST compensation? As per the provisions of the GST Compensation to States Act 2017, the states are assured of compensation for loss of any revenue arising on account of implementation of GST for a period of 15 years. The next statement reads, the state's protected revenue is projected at a compounded growth rate of 10%. And the last statement reads, the compensation fund is funded by the Consolidated Fund of India. Please have a look at the options. Let's understand the context. These articles from the Indian Express, the Hindu and the PIB notes the union government having cleared the entire GST compensation due to the states up till May 2022. Coming back to the question. Please note, as per the GST Compensations to States Act 2017, the states are assured of compensation for loss of any revenue. However, this is not for a period of 15 years, but for a period of 5 years. So, it is valid from 2017 to 2022. Moving on to the second statement, note the state's protected revenue is projected at a compounded growth rate of not 10% but 14%. So statement 2 is also wrong. Moving on to the third statement. To fund the GST compensation, we have something known as the compensation fund. This is a separate fund which receives funds generated by the application of cess on certain luxury and sin goods. So even statement 3 is wrong. Since the question asks for the incorrect statement, the answer to this question would be option D, 1, 2 and 3. Moving on to the last question of the day. This is a question from the UPSC 2019 GS paper 1. Which article of the Constitution of India safeguards one's right to marry the person of one's choice? The four options given are Article 19, Article 21, Article 25 and Article 29. In the Lata Singh versus the state of Uttar Pradesh case, the Supreme Court held right to marry as a component of right to life under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. Note, Article 21 states that no person shall be deprived of his life and personal liberty except according to procedure established by law. Similar observations were made again by the Supreme Court in the Hadia case. Here, the Supreme Court noted the right to marry person of one's choice is integral to right to life and liberty. So it becomes evident from this discussion that the answer to this question is option B, Article 21. Additionally, note Article 19 talks about basic freedoms, while Article 25 talks about religious rights. Article 29 provides protection to both religious as well as linguistic minorities. Moving on to the fact of the day. Tracklet-less heliocentric orbit recovery or THOR. Note, THOR is a novel algorithm developed to discover new asteroids. This has been developed by researchers of University of Washington. Note that there are almost around 25,000 near-Earth asteroids. Only 40% of them have been found and the rest 60% remains undefined. Given that there have been previous impacts of asteroids on Earth which has led to extinction events, it becomes very critical to be able to track asteroids. Hence, THOR, by providing advance warning of near-Earth asteroids, will form a critical part of planetary defense. To be able to appreciate the new algorithm, we need to understand what was the previous method to discover asteroids. Previously, asteroids were discovered using something known as tracklets. This involved photographing the same part of the sky multiple times during the course of one night. While stars and galaxies remain in same arrangement, moving objects such as asteroids shift their positions. While closer asteroids move faster, the farther ones move relatively slower. Astronomers call a series of observations of a single moving object as tracklet. Unlike the old system, the THOR algorithm links points of light in different sky images that are consistent with asteroid orbits. Through this, the THOR algorithm gives a possible orbit of a asteroid. In this context, it would be relevant to understand some of the planetary defense efforts underway to protect the planet Earth against asteroid impacts. The most notable is the Double Asteroid Redirection Test or the DART mission. This is a mission by NASA. It involves the first demonstration of kinetic impactor technique. This will involve crash landing a spacecraft onto an asteroid and changing its course. The mission will involve crash landing a spacecraft on Dimorphos, which is a small moonlet revolving around the asteroid Didymos. This is all for today. Thank you for being with us.